U.S. equity markets show a bit of an uptick on the hope that the earnings reports will kind of show that these companies are totally fine and the coronavirus pandemic is not totally crashing our economy and subverting our corporate profits from within. It's totally fine that hairdressers and taxi drivers are day trading and quitting their jobs to day trade. It's totally fine. It's a natural part of the market cycle. Cryptocurrency seems to be moving up right along with it. And today, Bitcoin difficulty reached its largest number yet, proving that the network is more secure than ever. And the infamous hash ribbons indicator is going to generate a buy signal potentially on today's daily close or very soon. Are these going to lead to the break out of this consolidation to the upside, or are we kind of destined for more downside? Depends on what the S&P 500 does. Spoiler alert. Depends on what the S&P 500 does. All right, guys. Welcome back to Breaking Bitcoin. Let's get cracking.
This is Enzo from OKEX, and you're watching Breaking Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mispronounced cracking. That happened. We were there together. Welcome back to Breaking Bitcoin, guys. This is your daily source for everything cryptocurrency markets and personal finance. I'm your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic wherever you happen to be and however you happen to be tuning into us today. We've got a fantastic show for you guys today. So much to talk about. Before we begin, Kraken Cryptocurrency is very proud to be home to one of the fastest online growing communities of traders and investors. If you guys would like to meet like-minded individuals and you would like to stay up to date, make sure to join us at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Link is in the description down below, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. The way I feel this morning and moving into this week of trading is very fundamental. Right. So we'll get into the charts. We'll get into the technicals because there's some amazing setups and opportunities in front of us. It is Money Monday after all. So I already did Money Monday. Spoiler alert. I'll tell you what I bought here in just a little bit. But, you know, it sucks to be right. You know, it sucks to be able to tell the future. Right. It sucks to be able to predict the future. You know, when you've studied history, and, you know, you have studied economics. And for example, you've studied the collapse of Rome, the collapse of Athens. You've studied, you know, in excruciating detail, stock market crashes of the last 100 years, particularly the crash of the late 1920s and all the, you know, political, economic, social factors that led up to that and were resultant after that. You know, it's annoying to be the only one in my neck of the woods, you know, who has studied these things and, you know, is hearing all of my, let's call them like ex-water cooler buddies, like tell me about all the fantastic gains they're making in the stock market. And most of them do not realize or understand that I've been a professional trader for 10 years now. I'm just not too loud about it in my personal life anyways, at least. Like, you know, going to the grocery store and stuff, like who cares? You know, like I'm here to buy eggs. Yeah, it's frustrating to see individuals turn to day trading and to see all that same late stage empire behavior, to see all that late stage market cycle behavior, and to just realize, to look around and have to have the courage to say, look, no, I'm getting stock advice from my Uber driver. This is a problem, right? This has always been a problem. It always happens like this. And it's exactly at these moments when I'm hearing individuals like recommend to me that they should be investing, you know, multi-million, you know, like all of my money. If I don't go all in on this asset, you know, I am an idiot. Look how much money they made. Yeah, this is certainly time to get yourself. See, listen, there are ways to reduce risk and chase yield simultaneously. And one of the ways to do that are chase gains, chase ROI, chase returns. And one of the ways to do that is to find long volatility exposure. There's really not a better way to do that than being involved in the cryptocurrency markets, because this allows you to avoid kind of the miasma of corruption, certainly the equities markets has become. And it also allows you to get some fantastic long volatility exposure. We'll break that down here in just a little bit. So let me know what you guys think. Certainly that is how I feel moving into this morning. Some quick premium updates. Listen, all right, go ahead, get out the tar, the pitchforks, I know, but the Online Trading Academy is not going to be going live today. Earlier this morning, I was in the premium voice chat. So this is the private Discord voice channel for our premium members. And I was showcasing some of the features of the Online Trading Academy. It is going to require one more week to complete. Really, it's not going to take that long, but there are just a few things that I need to complete that needed to be done on the back end that we weren't able to complete this weekend because we were doing some database updates. So that is going to get done this week, and we will be pushing it live either next Monday. I just like to say next Monday because that way I can just plan for it and I can prepare a little bit better, and I can do fanfare, and maybe I can post on Twitter, and I can, maybe do a live presentation, a live premiere of the Online Trading Academy, and I can walk individuals through signing up for their first classes. So that'll be fun. Let's see here. So in today's headlines, we've got Bitcoin mining difficulty reaching all-time highs, and as I mentioned, the hash ribbons indicator signaling a buy. So the security of the Bitcoin network has never been greater. There's really not an asset that I would rather have my money in, that I would rather have my savings in for the long haul than Bitcoin. And as far as the hash ribbons buy indicator goes, I would like to go take a look at that together. Let's go back test that together, and let's just go look at some of the historical results that those signals have given it. And do they proceed to immediate uptrend? In my experience, there tends to be a lull and a dip. So that would actually indicate short-term bearishness, mesoterm, or, long-term bullishness, which I've been very consistent in saying that is how I feel. Chainlink, we have to talk about Chainlink. Chainlink has become the Tesla of cryptocurrency. It surged above 840, and in doing so, surpassed EOS and Crypto.com to take a place on the top 10 cryptocurrency list. So congratulations, 4chan. You did it. You did it. You alone, you, Biz, I'm talking to you, took a coin from the depths of anonymity all the way to the top 10. Hope you're proud. Brian Armstrong. You may like him, you may dislike him. Certainly under fire again for comments about why Coinbase was selling blockchain transaction information software to authorities and federal authorities and agencies. And Brian Armstrong says, "Look, man, this is a competitive marketplace. It's a free market. If we don't poach these baby seal hides, then somebody else will just come along and do it. Wouldn't you rather it be us?" No, we wouldn't. No, we would not. At least I wouldn't personally, right? There is a strong kind of anarchist bent here where anyone who, there's all different types of ways to seek profit, right? This coming from a free market capitalist, somebody who really, truly, philosophically, and fundamentally believes in the pursuit of personal motivation and profit. As a guiding factor of a well-functioning society, and as a cornerstone of virtue. I really do agree with Ayn Rand that if you live for the benefit of others and not yourself, that's cannibalism. And I don't trust people who eat themselves or other people. Because if you get trained to eat yourself, cannibalize yourself, it's very easy to eat somebody else. And we've seen this play out throughout history. There's a very good anarchist bent here that says, listen, there's all kinds of ways to seek profit. You guys could have picked any other business occupation. Yes, there are other blockchain analytics companies out there, but you didn't have to be one, right? You could have chosen not to. You could have chosen instead to invest and improve the privacy of certain networks, but you don't, and you haven't, and you never have. You've always been a regulation first company and business. And as such, you are somewhat ethically juxtaposed to the ethos or the goals, the fundamental goals of the Bitcoin network or the Bitcoin protocol. So let me know what you guys think about that. With that being said, I want to give a shout out to, we're going to go look at it here in a second, but I want to give a shout out to Roger Elder and Ken, who left some great comments on our Kava Labs video. Make sure to go check that out. And we're going to be breaking down the trade of the day. It's more like a series of trades of the day. I often feel bad. So Cybot, by the way, one of our automated signaling strategies, is currently on maintenance. And we have our bottom feeder macro bot that's been running for about the last 2 months, and we've been collecting the data. So we've been forward testing it, and the results are just fantastic. And I feel, honestly a little depressed that premium members don't get to see this on the daily basis, that they're not seeing these results. So I'm going to share them with you guys today. With that being said, let's move over into the live scene. If you guys have questions, make sure to drop them in the live chat. The moderators are there to help you. We're going to look at a lot of charts today. So if you guys have any questions, or if I talk about anything that you don't understand, don't be embarrassed. Just stop, ask me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. If you enjoy the content, make sure to slap a like on today's video. It helps out more than you could possibly understand. And if you want to keep in touch, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and you got to turn on all notifications. If you do not turn them all on, it's not going to work. You have to turn them all on. If you're over there on Twitch or DLive, you can support us for free on Twitch for sure. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can get a free Twitch sub. Does help support the channel, and a follow on Twitch or DLive costs you absolutely nothing. All right, let's get cracking into today's TA. And I just realized the top of my head's cut off. I'm sorry, it's the camera angle. we'll have to deal with it. I'm sure maybe Jack can do it. All right, so listen, you guys might see a little bit of reflection because it just is what it is. I gotta wear my glasses today. Huzzah! All right. There we go. Get Restream chat up there so I can see you guys. All right, so I wanted to give a shout out to Roger Elder. 2 days ago, left this comment. He says this is from our Kava Labs interview with Brian Kerr. He's the one of the co-founders of Kava Labs. I had the opportunity to sit down with him and speak with him at San Francisco Blockchain Week. Well, we weren't at any SFBW. This is actually the Airbnb where we stayed at, but he was kind enough to come by, and great guy. We had a really good time, and he was really very, very pleasant to interview, and honestly, a very intelligent guy when it comes to talking about blockchain. We honestly talked more about fundamentals than anything else. But Roger says, this is a great interview. I'm holding Kava here, but I see it useful not just in decentralizing lending, but in cross-chain settlement itself. In other words, if the monetization was just to cover the exchange of disparate assets and the rate the rate charged was adjusted accordingly, this process could compete with the Lightning Network, probably run circles around the Lightning Network. I'm not going to disagree. Kava Labs have a great protocol. What they're trying to do is actually, I'm not going to lie, pretty neat. And I was interested in it from the moment I met Brian and heard about the project in San Francisco. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take the compliment here. Ken Anklovich says, hey, Justin, you have a great future on YouTube. Not only are your analysis videos top notch, but you are an excellent interviewer. Well, thank you, man. I highly appreciate that. So far, the YouTube algorithm does not think so, but I have a friend here on YouTube. He's been making videos for 10 years. Never went viral. And just, I want to say like 2 months ago, finally, a video that he made 10 years ago went viral, got 10.3 million views. So, pretty, just got to be patient. Maybe it'll happen for me. Got to be patient. All right. So Kava Labs. All right, so I want to break down, before we get into the markets today, I want to break down the trade of the day. And like I said, it's not going to really be the trade of the day. It's going to be the strategy of the day. Now, many of you guys are going to be familiar with our premium indicator suite or proprietary indicator suite. So if you guys are not, you guys can go to tv.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Yeah, this is really happening. Don't worry about it. How do I change the size? This is just like way too big. Here we go. There we go. There we go. tv.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Boom. And one of these days I'll like make it prettier. But anyways, and you guys can see all of our ideas that we publish, our scripts, and one of them is only available to premium subscribers, but that is Bottom Feeder and the Bottom Feeder Strategy Tester. So this indicator is designed to catch bottoms, particularly on Bitcoin. So we've automated the strategy with a few tweaks. Here are the current open results. This is all running automatically, but I wanted to point out the closed results because this is really pretty awesome. So this is just from the beginning of June 18th. So this, the first trade was here on June 18th. And let's see here. These go back to, wait, exit date. No, sorry. So this is all closed results from the beginning of July because we closed our journals out, even for our automated strategies, which we're running about 6 or 7 of them forward testing right now and a few more in experimental phases right now. So these are all closed results just from the beginning of July. So July 1st, these are all closed as of July 1st. They were opened earlier, and you can see some of these trades were held open for quite a long time. In fact, if we go look at current, we have a trade here that was opened on the 7th of June and the 11th of June here as well. BTC USD and Bcash USDT. But absolutely fantastic results. 77.12% potential ROI. That means from entry to close. That's the total amount of ROI that was generated. And over here on the trading journal, so far this month, it is already up 8.11% actual equity. So whatever equity you started with, you would have 8.11% more. BTC trades, it's done about 1.90, about 2% ROI, and USD trades or USD quotes, it's done about 4.19%, outbeating the market by about 6% with market alpha. So really good bot. The results from June were about this good, not quite as good, but pretty good. And so if July goes ahead and closes out this well also, we are going to go ahead and offer this strategy live. And that means that individuals will be able to initially take the signals. And then as we progress with our automated system, they will be able to have their, ideally the trading signals happen automatically. That is the goal that we're moving toward. All right, let's get into the markets. Not a whole lot that I want to talk about today. Of course, it's Monday, so we have to have a good bead on the day. I kind of want to look at the hash ribbons buy indicator. So the analysis that I posted this morning, just something interesting to note. I wanted to talk about Ichimoku this morning. And of course, I have Minx down here, slightly modified. This is going to be with a length of 30 and a noise length of 4, a static filter of 10. By the way, a static filter of 10, by the way, for you guys, premium members who haven't really maybe experimented or gotten into the nitty gritty with Minx, any of you guys who have gone through Pathways to Profit will notice, will know in the indicator testing spreadsheet, I listed, and I did it as kind of a hint, different settings for Minx that I had already back tested for you. And some of those were with static filter of 10. So I highly recommend that you guys go check those out if you have not already. This is a pretty neat smoothing. And 10 works fine too. It's just, 10 is obviously going to increase your sensitivity to trending movements, and it's going to decrease your ability to stay in a trend if you're using this as some form of exit indicator. But anyways, I wanted to take a look at the Ichimoku system. This is a free indicator that's available as well, our version of the Ichimoku indicator. So on Friday, we actually went ahead and generated a Tenkan Kijun cross under. This is a bearish sell signal. This would be the way that you would trade this setup is once you receive the Tenkan Kijun cross, it doesn't really help you insofar as identifying a take profit target. This is something that is somewhat lacking, although I have identified kind of my own method, which is measuring the distance between the previous Tenkan Kijun signal, which in this case would be right here. We can see that this signal generated on this candle close. So what we can do is we can turn magnet mode on, and I'm going to do price range. And I'm going to measure from that candle close to the candle close of the most recent signal. And that's a difference of about 24%, an advance of about 24%. And then we're going to go ahead and cut that in half. Now, I could go ahead and measure that, but one easy way to do it in TradingView is to just use a trend-based fib extension. And again, we're going to measure the advance here, and then we want 50%. So I want about half of that movement. Now, this has nothing to do with Fibonacci. This is just an easy way to measure 50%. Right? And I could have used a fib retracement as well. I just chose not to. All right, so there we go. We now have a potential target of about 8,366 should this signal play out. And you do need to trade this type of trading signal with a manual stop loss, with a soft stop loss, not a hard stop loss. What you would do is wait until price closes above the Kijun, which at this point in time is sitting at 95.09 on the Bitfinex chart. And if the daily closes above the Kijun, because this is a daily signal, you would exit the trade. Otherwise, you hold on until you hit your take profit. Now, a couple other interesting things here on the Ichimoku system. We are trading above a green cloud, which most would construe to be bullish. However, in my experience, and although, listen, there's a big part of me that thinks that Bitcoin's going to rip faces and rip off from here. It certainly could. But in my experience, as a good friend of mine who actually wasn't that good at trading, but was pretty decent at saying witty things, would say about the Ichimoku system, to him, it just seemed like price fell through green clouds of support and burst up through red clouds of resistance. And honestly, that is my estimation as well. There are, of course, other elements to the Ichimoku system. I don't know if you guys are aware. I've got a super long, really detailed video on all the components of the Ichimoku system and how to trade them together. You guys can check it out in our Trading Crypto 101 playlist if you want. I wish I had that YouTube magic where I did pre-recorded videos and I could just do the like bing thing, like there would be a pop-up in the top right, but that's just not how life's going to be. But if price closes inside the upper boundary, within the upper boundary of the Kumo cloud here, the Senku Span A, then that would be an edge-to-edge trade. And this is a very, very wide cloud. So that would be generating a potential edge-to-edge signal all the way down to 7,137. So a pretty big movement. And again, a soft stop loss above 95.09. You might even be bearish. You might even think, or excuse me, you might even be quite bullish and think the price is going to go up from here. But having said that, the risk to reward on that trade is very attractive. Very attractive. Kind of like the bet on black that you take just because the odds are so fantastic, right? Nah, a bet on black is really bad. More like that college football spread that you take because you're like, of course the Panthers are going to win, man. Of course they're going to win by 6. Over. All right. So with that being said, that's all we've got for that. Now the Donchian system went ahead and disapproved of the swing trade on the daily time frame, unfortunately. So, we are, as I said on, I believe it was Thursday or Wednesday, it was just not going to be that easy to get that breakout trade on Bitcoin, right? A lot of individuals got excited about this, as did I. I was actually pretty generous with my take profit targets. Thank you so much for the sub, whoever that was. And price fell back down, did not close below the baseline, fantastically enough, but did over here on the same candle that time transformation ended up crossing and closing below the signal line here. Now, we are still above the 0 line. Dynamic money flow is still bullish. True strength index is still bullish here. And by all accounts, we actually could have entered into a swing long on yesterday's daily close, right? We closed above the baseline. And although that's not my favorite type of entry, it is a more aggressive type of entry when everything is green. And that would all be true. Everything that I said would be absolutely true, except it's not, because that is a big fat lie. I'm a big fat liar. Because time transformation, our initiator in this case, is not generating an entry signal. If it was bullish and if time transformation was crossed over, we could enter. And for those utilizing time transformation as an entry indicator, we are simply waiting for it to go ahead and give that signal. Now, for those of you using, for those individuals using time transformation as a centered oscillator signal, on the other hand, you guys have been long since the 7th of July, right when I did, and you guys are still long. So you guys are holding on to this. You guys are dealing with this much better than I am. Congratulations. So no objective trading signal on the daily as far as the Donchian is concerned. As far as our roadmap of price, not a lot has changed. I have gone ahead and added, and I held off from doing this last week. Last week I could have drawn a descending triangle, but I didn't because I didn't want to. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the expression like a hat in a hat. Yeah, it's too much, man. Not interested in patterns inside of patterns. I still feel that ultimately the best way to conceptualize price behavior right now is in the form of a rectangle top. Now, in that rectangle top, we do seem to be forming a descending channel. Descending channels do tend to break out to the upside in bull markets, which we are in, so I have been told by Twitter. And we have tested the upper boundary of this descending channel. And again, remember, these are the most tenuous types of patterns because they are diagonal. And I am a fan of horizontal levels of support and resistance, supply and demand. Diagonal patterns are more just so we can have something to talk about. Not too much to generate a trade entry here. We did have rejection here, not strong rejection, and we are coming back up to retest that trend line. I did generate a measured move to the upside on the break of this descending channel. Now, generally, the way you're going to be taught to do this is to measure from the highest high to the lowest low, and then measure from the point of the breakout. In that case, we would take this high and measure all the way down to this. Excuse me. No, sorry. We would take this high, measure all the way down to this low here. Yeah. And then project that. So let's assume that this is the vertical. Let's say if we break out today, we can assume the vertical. If we break out tomorrow, we can assume the horizontal. We just got to line up the horizontal with the diagonal trend line, and we'll just click right there. And you would do a 1-to-1 movement. So that would be our take profit right there. Now, I don't agree with that, so I'm going to take all that back and show you how I do it because I'm conservative. And I measure the second wave inside any kind of formation, right? This is true of a triangle. This is true of a rectangle top. This is true, well, different from a rectangle top, because from a rectangle top, you measure from support to resistance. So instead of taking this high to this low, I would take this low to this high. And then I would project that onto the breakout candle. And I'm going to assume we break out tomorrow, if we do. And I hope we don't, because I'm short. All right, so this gives us a little bit better measured move around 10,291. All right, now I could have done all that, and then to the downside, we also get a measured move of, let's see here. Oh, sorry. If this does retrace the full way, measured move to the downside is going to be 8,530, which corresponds pretty well with the lower support level of the rectangle top and the lower trend line of the descending channel. Now, again, do I really think any of that's conclusive or that we should trade off of that? No, just want to talk about it, point something out. You know, we're kind of going crazy around the office here, right? We just need a little bit of volatility. But again, luckily, altcoins have been doing quite well. Ultimately, the big movements here are going to be the rectangle top measured movement up to 11,327, which I feel is more likely. And then the rectangle top breakdown target, 7,287, which, if you're paying attention, does correspond pretty well with the edge-to-edge trade target from the Ichimoku cloud system. So take that as you will. Overall macro analysis still remains quite bullish. My thesis is that price is in an uptrend, entering into a high volume node, and this is reaccumulation per Wyckoff theory. Reaccumulation leads to a second round of markup. Now, Bitcoin dominance is interesting. I wanted to kind of start off the conversation with this. Now, if we look on the weekly, we can see a very clear downtrend in Bitcoin dominance. You know, last week we did see some pretty heavy absorption. However, we are approaching this level of support, about 63, about 64% Bitcoin dominance. And we have tested this on the weekly level 3 times. And we have closed below it. We are trading below it. And I want you guys to notice the falling volume. Remember that when we approach support or resistance on diminishing volume, we often blow through it, right? So especially when we approach support on drooping price action, we just slowly creep down to support and there's no volume spike, and then we just kind of fall through it. And then we tend to just keep going, right? So when we approach support and resistance on high momentum and high volume, we tend to bounce off of it. Like if you threw a super ball down on the ground really hard. When we just kind of slump down on low volume and nothing's really going on, support doesn't really mean anything because there's just no open interest there to actually support a price. So it's like you just kind of lazily like let the super ball roll. It's just going to keep rolling. So I think that Bitcoin dominance is likely in the long term here to continue to slip, and I see some support down. I see kind of the next area I want Bitcoin dominance to go and hang out at is around 60%, 58 to 60% Bitcoin dominance, which means we might have, depending on how long it takes us to get down there, let's assume 3 to 4 weeks, if not 6 to 8, of alt season, of decreasing decreasing Bitcoin dominance and increasing alt dominance. Now, it's not just that simple. It's not just that black and white as, oh, Bitcoin dominance goes down, alt BTC pairs go up. Although it kind of is to a degree, because there will also be a phase of the market cycle where stable coins are moved into. So just remember this, right? All the money flowing into altcoins will eventually flow into Bitcoin. Like this is just put it on your wall, right? Like if you want something that you can bet on this. All of the money that's flowing into altcoins will eventually flood into Bitcoin, and all of those altcoins will fall back down out of the sky and make new all-time lows because altcoins are not more valuable than Bitcoin. It really is a three shells game, you know, in the grand scheme of things. There is only a certain quantity of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is rare, Bitcoin is unique, Bitcoin is genuine, and altcoins can generally be created out of thin air. And although they have promising technological applications and some of the blockchain projects are very interesting, and some of them are actually decent investments, they're not Bitcoin. And the idea that trading in your Bitcoin, which is extremely rare, and you should like realistically be guarding very, very preciously because it's very rare and people don't understand how rare it's going to get, that it will be eventually in the future difficult to acquire Bitcoin because nobody will want to get rid of it. The idea that, individuals are incentivizing you, retail traders, over and over and over again, to buy the tops of market cycles and to sell the bottoms of market cycles in order to get them to change their Bitcoins for altcoins, which when they're moving up are like amazing, wonderful, fun casino tokens. And when the game is over, when the musical chairs game is over, they're just worthless. They're just worthless raffle tickets. So Bitcoin dominance looking good on the weekly for continued downtrend. However, on the daily, pretty oversold and showing a little bit of divergence here with ISOspot and actual price action. So we could actually see, this is why I wasn't as aggressive with my alt BTC entries this morning when looking for trade setups. I do think that we can actually see some pullbacks over the next like 2 to 3 days. So I'd like to wait until the middle of the week until I kind of look for my entries. Looking at short-term price action here. Again, on the daily, no bottom. One thing I saw that interested me here on the 4-hour time frame, we aren't near overbought or oversold territories, more in the middle. Funding is positive. Funding is positive, and open interest has been falling, in my opinion. So I think we've got a little bit of, on the 1-hour chart, some bearish divergence here. Not a whole lot of follow through. We kind of had that scam wick this morning, right about here. No, it feels like it's earlier than this. Yeah, there we go. Here's the scam wick that I kind of started my morning off to right here. So scam wick and price bounced back up, and we've just kind of consolidated and made another run for it. So we have certainly tested this resistance level of about 93.30, 93.50 many times now. And funding is very, very positive right here. And it is just now beginning to slip into the negative. Depending on what happens over the next few hours, I am more likely, I far more like price moving down from here than moving up in the short term. We have a lot now in this entire area. We have a lot of individuals that have tried to take this breakout long, and it's possible. Let me go look at TRDR. It's possible that open interest has moved up. Yeah, so open interest is moving up just a little bit in this range, not a whole lot. Now, I don't pay for TRDR, so I don't have it up to date. If somebody is paying for TRDR, I can go to Tensor Charts. Look at open interest here if you guys want. I'm gonna have to do this. Just a second. You guys don't steal my password. Boom, and we're back. All right, so BitMEX stats. The 1 minute chart, and here we go. So we want to see, yeah, open interest actually has been rising this area quite a bit, from 630 million to about 670 million. So yeah, certainly, and I am referencing, obviously, I'm sure some of you guys are picking up on it. We talked about it earlier. Me and one of the premium members, well, he's just a gentleman. His name is West. Talked about it this morning. If you guys have not checked out Bennett's Bitcoin Trading Challenge, good friend of ours, his video on LRA or locked range analysis, really good video. Now, honestly, I want to say a few caveats about that. Bennett is really like infamous for this, where he will discover amazingly cool things and, you know, pick them up, you know, and play with them for a while and then put them down and move on to something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I love Bennett for that. He is always, you know, coming up and researching and making great videos on new concepts. But, you know, this locked range analysis looks really neat, and it works very good in the current market condition when liquidity on exchanges is extremely low and bots and algos are pretty much running price action and controlling price movements. When the market enters into a genuine Bitcoin trend, like on the daily, on the weekly time frame, strategies like that will underperform. Like, nothing works 100% all the time. So I want you guys to grow your skills, spread your awareness, improve your abilities, and improve your discretionary abilities as well. Improve your ability for analysis. And, you know, there's not a lot of people who are sharper than Bennett. I have a feeling that some of the that a lot of the popular strategies that become popular when Bitcoin is range bound for a very long period of time, such as hunting liquidation zones and, you know, buying always under lows, you know, selling always under highs, you know, reversion to the mean strategies, heck, even throwing the Bollinger Bands or Keltner channels on your chart and trading based off of the threshold signals is generally going to work better. Whereas trending strategies get tore up in this kind of market. That's why we as trend following traders have so many filters to prevent us from taking trades. And when we do, early exits to reduce the loss quite a bit. So we've only taken one in this range. That was the false positive that we got just a few days ago. We're actually going to see if we get some follow through on that now. But but I'm going to argue heavily in the favor of when that trend comes, and it will come. Individuals that kind of got trained to trade in the range it'll be like they got punched in the face, right? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. You know, and your strategy is absolutely fantastic until it doesn't work like whatsoever, and you don't know what to do. And that's why you have to take a lot of time to prepare and plan for what you things are going to for what you are going to do when these things happen in the market, right? You have to know when you're going to get out and profit with a smile on your face. When are you going to get out and panic with a scream in your lungs? And what are you going to do if price just like consolidates and chops sideways? All right. So that's enough about Bitcoin. Positive funding near resistance. I expect price to move down in the short term, and we'll see what Bitcoin dominance does. Keep your eyes on Bitcoin dominance because that might be the catalyst for price moving up. Ethereum. I don't know why. Why did I type out Ethereum, like the whole thing? All right, this is FUSD. We'll look on Bitfinex and start off on the weekly because it is Monday. I haven't really done this yet, so let's just do this together real quick for fun. Let's just chart out Ethereum. So just gonna create my roadmap of Ethereum, so I have a good kind of roadmap or guide on what I would like to do if Ethereum's price comes to certain levels. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go through and just like kind of running my finger along the chart, just note any significant levels of support and resistance or areas where the market's turned around significantly. And you don't want to be like too crazy with this, but it does help quite a bit. Especially when you're looking for areas to dollar cost average into. So certainly here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to get too crazy with this. So where are we right now? So if I were to say where we were for Ethereum USD's price, like on the big time scale, I'd certainly say we were in a buy zone, but getting a little overextended. Now pay attention to this. Falling volume. Falling volume as we are moving toward resistance. A level of resistance we have tested once, twice, and this will be our third test of resistance. Again, we are moving toward the zone of breakout on lowering volume and lowering momentum. We can see this. Let's take a look at average true range. I bet you ATR is falling. Yep. So as we approach resistance, not only is volume falling, but ATR is falling. So volume and volatility are falling. And that to me is pretty bullish. I think that we are likely to break through Ethereum USD then. Resistance here at 264.08. And let's see what we got going on here. A couple different ways to do this. Obviously, we have kind of like what measured move do you want to take, right? We've got a rounded bottom here, so an Eve, and we've got the V bottom here. So we've got Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns here from Mr. Bulkowski, and we've got, whoa, I don't want to edit the bookmark. Cancel. Control F. Let's see here. Whoops. Double bottoms. Even atom, page 244. There we go. There we go. All right, double bottom pattern with the left bottom wide and rounded, the right bottom narrow and V-shaped. The breakout is upwards. Break-even failure rate, only 4% in a bull market. Average rise of 35%. 57% chance of throwbacks, and 66% of trades meet the price target. That's pretty good. And let's identification guidelines. While it is easy to find a double bottom, it can be difficult to distinguish between the combinations. The Eve bottom is wider and rounder looking. The atom is more shaped like a V, narrower, use blah, 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 blah. Downward price trend, yep. Yep, the pattern does not form in a rising price trend. Yep, it's part of a downtrend. Bottom shape, do they have the same or different shapes? Yep, yep. Rise between bottoms. All patterns do well. All right, focus on failures. And where is the measurement rule? Let's get to the fun stuff. All right, and trading tactics. The height of the EADB added to the breakout price. All right, so for example, the EADB has a confirmation price of $12.50. The height of the pattern from the highest high between the two bottoms to the lowest bottom low. Okay, that's easy, we can do that. All right, so here's this. Here's the highest high between the two bottom lows, and this is the lowest low. Okay, we can do this, no problem. We'll use a trend-based fib extension to make this very easy. Measure from the lowest low to the highest high. And we're going to look for the breakout level. Let's just conservatively say it's going to be 264.08. That's the horizontal line I already have here. And one full movement would actually put us to $460, $459.04. For those of you who insist upon having some element of Fibonacci in here, which I don't really like, 1.618 would be 580. And we do have resistance at 793. So I don't think that is unrealistic. With the Ethereum DeFi hype that's going on, I don't think that's unrealistic to break the trend and actually have a price movement like that. So for those of you ETH heads out there. And listen, a couple ways for confirmation. Again, you're going to get throwback. You're going to get all kinds of things. But one thing you can do is wait for the weekly close above 264.08. Or, I mean, if you're really feeling this, you're going to buy the next pullback if you have not entered into Ethereum already. But again, still, if we assume that this is a good accumulation range, you're at the upper area of that range, sure, but you've done dumber things than buy the top of the accumulation range. Like, you've bought the top of the market before. So let's not kid each other. This is probably one of the better investment decisions that you've made if you bought Ethereum here. Again, not an incentive, not an incentivization to actually buy. All right. Let's go. So let's do a segment I like to call my highlights, or Justin's highlights. So I want to take a look at a good trade. The last trade that we covered was HOT BTC. Really good trade. I'm going to look at a Forex trade today. So, by the way, the guys in the premium voice chat were talking about this Beyond Meat. I don't see anything here, guys. Except, I mean, this is like a gap, weirdo island pseudo pattern. I don't know what the heck this is called, though. It looks like a it kind of looks like the spider boss from the beginning of Final Fantasy VIII. This kind of looks like, or maybe like an insect, like Invader Zim or something. I don't know, but not like in Beyond Meat. Looks terrible. Platinum. I'm gonna keep that open. Platinum. Let's go over here. So the dollar UN. So obviously, as part of the premium trading group, we do provide premium signals and we do provide premium Forex signals. And we had entered into the dollar UN on June 30th. I called this trade at 7.06997. Oh, man. All right, so there was the entry. And I'm not going to lie, June 30th. So this was here. Didn't have to wait too long for this to move in our direction. As you guys can see, this was a continuation signal. So price is below the Donchian baseline here. And we are waiting for our initiator to give us an objective signal, which it does here as a line cross indicator. The Fisher line crosses under the signal line right here on this candle. And that generates the trading signal, at which point we can look at our confirmer, identify that, yes, this is confirming bearish trades, and dynamic money flow, confirming bearish flow. And of course, we're below the baseline. So, and even to boot, we're within the qualifying line. So measured our Quadrigo targets, and we were off to the races. Now, yesterday, we ended up getting that. So this proceeded very nicely. And from entry here, we did have a max, make sure magnet mode's on. So we had a max run up of 1.27% or 899 pips, and we were able to secure 607 of those pips. So we were able to capture of the entire profit potential, 67.5% of the ROI potential. So good trade on the dollar ON, one of the better Forex trades we've had for the last few. You do, I don't know, I'm not sure why you do not, Robert, but it is certainly there. Yes, USD CNH is certainly on Owanda. All right, let me look at the chart here. Does anybody have a cryptocurrency request for a crypto chart? I'd be happy to look at it. That is Q docs. The Pie Guy says Civic USDT. All right, let's check it out, man. All right, real question though. All right, who bought Doge? Who bought Doge at 41 sats? Listen. Okay, guys, nobody's gonna judge you. Just want to know. Want to know who bought Doge at 41 sats? And are you guys gonna buy it at 33 sats? Civic USDT for Mr. The Pie Guy. Let's do. All right, Civic USDT. Let's start off on the weekly. I don't want to overdo it here. Okay. All right, so pretty wide weekly range here. And we did come up to the top of it and reject. Nice, decent little volume spike here. A little bit of diminishing volume. I think we can continue to move here on Civic. There's really not a whole lot here on the weekly. There's really a... Oh, I guess, unfortunately, one thing that could happen is like this plays out. Even then, we still might get another up thrust up there. I don't really like the way I've drawn that either. I don't feel like that's representative. There we go. Now it's a far more compelling case why it should absolutely reject from right here. And I don't measure that way any guys. Even when I do trend lines, which I'm not a big fan of. I always use candle body closes. And if we do that, it kind of makes it look like we're going to break out, but we're not. That's not, this ain't that, fam. So, yeah, I don't really got anything here on the daily. Rising volume, maybe a volume spike, but I don't really see capitulation here. So let's go down to the daily. This certainly seems like it's in an uptrend more than a downtrend to me. And we do seem to have some local support here at 0.2561. All right, so let's take a look here then. Yeah, big rally up here, sell off, great opportunity to buy back in. About a 50% retrace of that movement. Big buy right here. I don't think right now is the time to buy, especially after that volume spike. Let's see if we can get this thing to retrace a little bit. What's the daily look like here? Yeah. Yeah, some weak bearish divergence right here. You know, weak bearish divergence here. I'm really not feeling this, especially with that volume spike right there. I don't really know how low this can go, or actually if this thing will continue to run. This is kind of like this is kind of a tricky chart. It's not really a tricky chart. It's something you don't want to go long on. Yeah, let me put it that way. It's not a tricky chart. It's something you do not want to go long on, in my opinion. Let's see here. Right now. So you could have bought the retest of support here. And I mean, I don't know. There's a few things we can do. Civic USDT. So first off, let's say we consider, I don't even like doing this because, it's a pretty wide range. We can do something with this. Let's try this. So break of the previous range up into the next range, test resistance, break above, back test support, up, test resistance. Again, so target around here, 0.2449, so about 2.5 cents. Or what we can do is we can watch for that break of 3.1 cents. And we could really go for the big enchilada here, huh? So measured move of that range is going to be 0.3826, but I don't like it. We should be a little bit more conservative. So what's half of that? It's half of that. It'd be 0.3481 right here. That's right before that 3532 resistance. That's what I would do. If I would do that at all. I wouldn't, I don't know. I'm not liking this. I'm not gonna lie. I do not feel a strong amount of range breakout level. And we'll do kind of conservative target. So, and I mean, I'll tell you why, because usually when I take a breakout trade, I don't trade breakouts like most people do. Like my stop loss goes all the way below the range, like all the way down here. A lot of people don't do that, but I don't see how else you could do it. Like you're going to get throwback. So anyways, not the biggest fan, but okay, let's just assume that we're going to we'll set it more conservatively, like right below the bottom of this range. And we can actually get somewhat of a profitable movement there. And here, I will publish this. For your viewing pleasure. You know what? No, this isn't going to, because if I publish something on TradingView, I really want to, contextualize all the different time frames that I looked at and this, that, and the third. So I will just push this in the chat. Why don't I have my... Just a second, guys. All right, and we're back. I got it. Into the chat. Pop out the chat. Boom. Big thank you, guys, to all 116 of you guys watching on YouTube. And that's just YouTube. Let's check here. Over on Twitch, a a noble 4 of you guys. Highly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the Twitch support. And over on DLive, 10 of the DLive homies following today. Novice Gnostic. Thank you so much. That's a tongue twister. Novice Gnostic. Ooh, boy. All right. Medical Crypto. Thank you so much, my friend, for the support. And let's distribute these rewards. I wish that there was something nice that I could do for you guys on Twitch. You know, the only things that it allows me to do is like click this button that says like, hey guys, just a reminder, you've got Prime, you get a free subscription. You know, I don't feel like that's a whole lot. Maybe somebody, again, I need to learn how to use Twitch more effectively. And actually from what I know, like Medical Crypto's the dude. So if you got some suggestions, bro, I'm down. All right. And let's just double check that chat for any other requests. Let's see here. He's chubbier, freebier. Terror attacks on the US, Billboard, Hot Tub, and the. Did somebody like break a bot? F the store and I will have to go. Hey, look, man. You know, I do not promote the use of substances. I am not saying that I'm perfect. I certainly have had my 20s and I went to college. I'm just saying, I'm in a place, man. I'm in a place. Hey, thank you so much, Grace. Highly appreciate it. Okay, so we did Civic. I didn't see any other chart requests, so we will just look greedily at one of my trades, which is USO. All right, now, all right. Yeah, note the zigzag down here. So the zig and the zag down here on USO. Not entirely deterministic, but hey, worth mentioning. Time transformation on the weekly is just about to enter into overextended territory, and TSI just flipped over. The only thing I really need to see on this, if I really wanted to be very, very bullish on being long oil here, is DMF here on the weekly time frame. So let's certainly say that USO here on the weekly is cheap. And the only thing that concerns me a little bit is this kind of low volume. I don't like, so some people are going to say like, well, this is a rising channel, right? And I don't trade, again, you really had to like break my arms to get me to draw that descending channel on Bitcoin today. Like, I don't really, this is like voodoo to me. Like this, you know, diagonal stuff, like it's voodoo. I don't think it works. It doesn't work for me anyways. But having said that, people say that ascending channels break to the downside, and this is like symmetrical consolidation following a down move, and that is indicative of continuation in that direction, and we've got lowering volatility, and all I want is for USO to hit $31 so I can have my second take profit. So you guys just wait until that happens. It's actually 29.37, so we are not there yet. 29.37, we're like 17 cents away. So if you guys could just go out and market buy USO, you guys could just appreciate that. You got this. But let's go look at the entry on this bad boy. Was right here. And we can see time transformation, give us that trading signal right there, crossing over the signal line. We take a gander and see that TSI is above the signal line. Good. And dynamic money flow is confirming bullish trades. Great. And we're above the baseline. So we're good to go. And we're right underneath that qualifying line. And we are off to the races. A little bit of a pullback here. Again, diminishing volume right at the top. As long as we don't close below 27.76, we are good. Have not hit the first take profit on this, so we are not out of the woods. We're not in the no loss zone, but feeling good. Really, really glad that I stuck to my guns on Palladium. You know, kind of held this whole range right here. And certainly took a stab at shorting Palladium over here, I believe, and took a losing trade. But I stuck to my guns and held this long, and it has rewarded us. And and really, really long on the SPLG. Premium members, I signaled to go long on the SPLG, which is a proxy to go long on the SPY right before Friday's close. And we have a nice, obviously, almost 1% gap to the upside here. And Ethereum, or excuse me, and Bitcoin so far not following directly along. In fact, Bitcoin bleeding out. And again, I think it's because although Bitcoin is correlated, I was, I'm not going to lie, guys. I did not like my position moving into Friday. I certainly could have held it open. I could have more gracefully exited, but I just got out. I got rid of almost all my crypto exposure. And, I'm being far more selective now, far more selective. I had a really, really good week of scalping, and I'm up like over 10% on my ROI just last week. So definitely a step back. But again, just look at this positive funding. Look at this. Again, we saw, rising open interest, if you guys think that's indicative from looking at the LRA analysis. But anyways, so obviously, before we proceed any further, today's show, if you guys are watching us, you guys should know today's show is brought to you by the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group. We are not, I don't just come on the air. This is not just what I do. I don't just come on to hang out with you awesome people, although I do love doing that. The majority of what I do as an analyst and as an individual and as a trader is I mentor our students in the Kraken Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group. I develop indicators and I provide trading signals among just a myriad of other things. General life support and coaching. And honestly, this is a time, I'm so glad that you guys are here watching because I do the best that I can to be as upfront, as honest with you as possible. Sometimes you guys don't like what I say. I don't really care. All I care about is, whether or not the information I provide you is good and whether or not the analysis and the trading signals that I provide are sound. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. I don't think there's been a better time. I think there's never been a better time, especially with all of this absolute euphoria going on everywhere, to actually learn how to build your own objective system. Because the biggest mistake that new traders are going to make in approaching the financial markets, whether they're trying to get into stocks and day trade right now, like their hairdresser, or whether they're trying to get into cryptocurrency because they think that alt season is going to last for another 4 months and it's just getting started, baby. They're going to listen to other people. And I appreciate that you guys are here listening to me, but I hope that you are taking the lessons and skills that I teach you and developing your own concepts, doing your own testing, doing your own trading. There's so much that we cover on a daily basis here, not only on the show, but in the premium group. It's a great community to be in. And I really appreciate, all the guys that are in there, all the guys and gals that are in there, because they really improve the quality of my life. But we do offer premium signal service because we do want to offer the ability for individuals to take advantage of our profitable trade setups. So we know that not everybody has the time to learn. They should. Their life will be better if they do, but we do provide those. We put a lot of work into our proprietary indicator suite, including Minx, time transformation, Parallax, Quadrigo, bottom feeder. That's, and that's just a few of them. There's a lot more coming along the way. In fact, I'm super excited. I'm not going to make the announcement right now, but I'm super excited because we are going to be having a new, let's say a new hand around the office. And he's a sharp tool. He's a cold piece when it comes to those indicators. So I won't explicitly call him out unless he asks to be explicitly called out, but super excited. That means that so much more is going to happen in the way of automation and indicators and strategies. It's going to be incredible. But if you guys are tired of watching price from the sidelines or trading with your gut, there's never been a better time to join our community and just, join the community, find a group of individuals that actually want to help you succeed, care about you succeeding. Don't, like me, don't really care if you like what I say. I'm here to tell you, probably what I wanted to hear back in the day when I first started to learn how to trade. I wish I would have found a mentor that would talk to me like I tend to talk to people now. Yeah. So anyways, you guys can check the link in the description down below. I'm actually going to type it out because I certainly have to get these at some point in time. It's tragedy that I don't do this. Where is it? Oh, it's right up there. It's right up there, but maybe I should highlight a little bit. Premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Sometimes I forget that it is right at the top of the screen. I can't get away from it. It's always there. Maybe it'd be better if it was gone sometimes. I don't know. All right. So we're going to continue with our market wrap up here real quick. And we're going to look at Forex markets. And the first thing we're going to look at is the economic news calendar. What do we got going on today? Yeah, as far as today went, just British retail sales, nothing too crazy. CPI from Germany coming in tomorrow. GDP estimates, month over month, year over year in the UK. So maybe avoiding GBP trades. GD. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't see anything. I don't really care about CPI, but gold production year over year. CPI, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about all that stuff. All right, so I think I will avoid British pound trades, though. So avoiding British pound trades, fairly neutral to everything else. All right, let's look at the... Oh, one thing that... I think it's an indicator on here. I think it's currency strength index. Currency strength index? Maybe it's the currency strength indicator. Currency strength indicator. Let's try this one by Cool Charisma. It's like a breadth indicator for the Forex markets. I should probably make one. Currency strength index. Currency strength meter. Live charts UK. Here we go. All right, so the euro is very strong right now. The pound is very weak, as to be expected. Dollar's okay. The Aussie's weak. Pound's weak. Excuse me, the yen is weak. And the Swissy is okay. And I don't trade the NOK or the DKK, so that's all right. So we're going to be kind of focusing on the euro and the dollar. Euro and the dollar. Let's see if we can't find euro-dollar trades. But we're going to take our trades, not the trades of some hussy website telling us what we can and can't trade. All right. So the Australian Kiwi I am short on, and let's see right here. So the Australian Kiwi, we've already hit TP1, 1.0673. Yeah, we're pretty far away from our break-even stop loss. I'm going to probably take this opportunity. I'm not going to get out right here. No objective exit signal here from TT. I am going to wait and hold on to that. All right, let's see here. So this is the currency strength index. Oh boy. All right. Gonna have a lot of fun with this. So we've got the euro. I'm gonna have to learn all these colors. So when I think of the euro, I think of Germany, of course. So let's go. Let's kind of like go this orange, right? That helps, I think. All right. When I think of the dollar, I certainly think of white. When I think of the British pound, I think of Austin Powers. Like, yeah, baby, yeah. So get groovy. When I think of the Australian dollar, I kind of think of certainly the land down under. So like blue, like light blue. When I think of the Swiss franc, I don't really think of anything when I think of the Swiss franc. So just make that yellow, or like very, very yellow, very, very yellow. The Japanese yen, I tend to think of like K-pop and tentacle porn. So let's turn that up. And the Canadian dollar, I tend to think of maple syrup. So like, where's brown? Is there brown? Brown? Maybe like this, but like just like tint that down a little bit. Yeah, like brown like that. Okay. Hopefully I can remember that. All right, so, oh, and they're labeled right here, sweet. Yeah, so this is completely disagreeing with that indicator over here. This says the euro is very strong and the Aussie is very weak. But if we look over here, this says the Aussie is very weak and the euro is moving down. Oh no, the euro is moving up. Thoughts, opinions? I got nothing. So no exit on the Aussie Kiwi. Yeah, what's up, honey? Have fun. Don't let the badgers bite you. All right. All right. It's a long story, guys. Don't ask. The Australian CAD, the Aussie CAD. This actually kind of looks decent for continuations. Let's put this on the watch list. The Australian dollar, no. Canadian Swissy, no. Canadian yen, no. Wait. Was this candle yesterday? And no, we're not going to do that. Swissy yen, reversal baseline bounce, Euro Aussie. The Euro Canadian is a little overextended. Should have got this one. This was a good entry. So here's the entry signal right here. Yep. Euro Swissy. I like this for reversal. That's a reversal baseline bounce all day. Yeah, like I said, the euro is looking pretty strong today. We've got the no trade signal, no trade warning on the euro yen here. Otherwise, this would be a decent long. So we'll put this on the watch list, but certainly going to be for tomorrow. The euro dollar is just not quite there yet. Like we said, we were avoiding pound trades. So let's just skip past these. Kiwi dollar is generating an exit signal today, as is the Kiwi Canadian and the Kiwi Swissy. Kiwi yen generated one yesterday. The dollar Canadian is weak. Dollar Swissy is weak. Dollar yen is weak. And the dollar yuan. Yeah, so the only thing that I really saw was the Australian, the Aussie CAD for some continuation. So thank you so much, Ditsia Yella. I don't know how else to pronounce that. I just don't. Thank you for the compliment on the V-Chain shirt. They gave it to me for free, so it's not a huge accomplishment. Yeah, absolutely. Later on in the request section, if I have time, I will be glad to take a look at V-Chain. All right, so the Aussie CAD, we're looking at an entry around daily close. We have gotten like double sell signals, but I'm going to go ahead and go for it. Go for this continuation. Falling volume as price continues up. Hard stop at 0.93743 and first TP at well, hold on, let me check my. Sorry. Stop at 0.93691. Yeah. And TP at 0.95303. Do that. And Euro Swissy. I don't know if I want to bet against the trend here, but let's get a little discretionary here if I can do this. All right, so we got the Euro Swissy moving down in this. I suppose you'd call it a wedge, wouldn't you? Hate wedges. All right, well, I should avoid this then. That's a breakout trade all day. And we want to measure from the point of the breakout. Zoom in, enhance. Okay, right here. Okay. So we're almost there to a movement. Few more scotches. We'll hit the 618, where we might see a sell-off. And then if you wanted to discretionarily trade the Euro Swissy, buy that pullback and then target that full measured move. And if you wanted to be straight hardcore with it, target that little special something extra up there. Okay. So from here to here, 2% pullback right here. Okay. So here's a complicated trade setup for you. Sell here, buy back here, target here, sell half, and then sell the other half up there. Now, I don't like how I really did any of that, but I'm thinking this is worth maybe trading view analysis. Short sell, cover short, bid long. We're just going to go down like that. Arrow. Cool. What is that? 1.07125? All right, so I'm going to put that trade on later on. Actually, here in just a little bit. Great. You guys have been doing maintenance for a long time, and I'm not having it. All I have to do is refresh my chart. Thank you very much. Boom. Okay, guys, that's enough getting bogged down in the weeds there. Forex, precious metals, quick update. Oops, cancel. CFDs. All right, gold on the weekly, just continuing. Declining volume as it moves up with this breakout, which is good. I don't really see, we're not overextended on the weekly, although it's possible that these are not the best. No, I don't like that. Okay. Yeah. That's a little better. Still, I kind of want that. Hold on a second while I implement ultra secret special settings for an indicator you guys don't even have access to. All right, enhanced. All right. Why is land down under blue? Should be brown for desert. There's no desert in Australia, man. Like, come on, dude. You daft? I believe they'll let this guy on the show. Yeah, so descending volume as price extends on this breakout. Gold is looking very good. Let's zoom out. Get some historicity. All right, decent enough. I don't know what that line's doing there. I swear, the first person to say cup and handle is getting punched in the face. It kind of could be a cup and handle. That's good. All right, so typically when you're playing a cup and handle, you target this space between the 236 and the 382 as your take profit, and you set your stop loss kind of at but below, like, so you don't actually have a stop loss, but just if price closes below 14, below the 50% retracement, you would exit the trade. There's another way that you can do it, which is, you target the 0.5 to 618 and then you use 786, but I mean, who are we trying to kid here? All right, who are we trying to kid here? Let's make that pink for stop loss, and we can delete this fib extension. It's silly. So if this does play out for gold, then yeah, so something like this. And oh boy. Now watch and revel, old bugs. I'm going to measure the confirmation zone, the bottom of this potential cup and handle pattern. And I'm going to measure to the bottom of the cup, which is not actually really the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to measure to the top of the breakout, but I'm going to be conservative for you guys because this is going to blow your mind. All right. So just at 50% of that movement would take us to the previous all-time high here on the CFD, about 1924. On a Wanda, hold up. Oh, come on. It's like 1912? Yeah, I think it's like 1912. 1921, sorry. But a full movement would take us to 2,290. Which I don't think is crazy whatsoever. All right. Place trail of stop. Okay. Good. What do you guys think? Yeah. Cup and handle. Cup and the part that you hold the cup. Cup and the cup of the cup. Hat and a hat. Yeah, I think that's possible. So that means, and again, we do see the volume spike to kind of denote that right here. Diminishing volume going into that resistance. Now it's possible you just go ahead and just like keep on trending upwards because this is an uptrend. So yeah, that's a huge volume spike though on gold. Yeah, so time transformation generated an exit signal here, and we have some regular bearish divergence. However, everything else is looking pretty good. And in fact, we could, by all rights and purposes, generate a continuation signal off today's daily close. And I would probably be more akin to be aggressive and trade in the direction of the trend. So I'm going to mark that actually as a to watch. Type C bearish divergence. Yeah, that's kind of weak actually, but yeah, there's just a little bit of divergence there. This makes a higher high. Oscillator makes an equidistant high, or no higher high. I certainly don't want to short sell gold. And actually kind of zooming in on the daily over the last week, there isn't such a resultant volume spike again, as I had pointed out previously. So I like the continuation trade actually. Let's go back to that Donchian. Let's see what we're working with. We are looking at take profit of 1829, 11, 12, and stop loss of 1776. Yeah, I like it. Good stuff. Silver. Ooh, please talk dirty to me. Silver gave a continuation signal over here. Nothing right now. It is quite bullish. I could not recommend an entry on today's candle, nor could I recommend an entry on palladium. And I don't even want to talk about platinum. All right. Let's get progressing, guys. I don't want to get into, we'll get into indices later. All right. Listen, we're going to get into the cryptocurrency segment now. If you guys are going to, just a second, I gotta make this thing. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yep. All right, here we go. Let's do the dang thing. That looks like crap. Any way I can change that, please? A little too big. So let's just, thank you very much. I highly appreciate that. All right, if you guys are going to be trading cryptocurrency, then you do not want to be doing so on a bad exchange. You do not want to be doing so on Prime XBT, for the love of God. I do not understand how Prime XBT is actually getting the love that it's getting on YouTube. I have to assume, like, I don't know. That sounds like one broker all over again to me. Having said that, the last thing you want to do, if you are just getting into crypto, and I don't know if any of you guys were around for Cryptopia. Any of you guys remember? Did you lose your funds on Cryptopia? A bunch of other ones like that, man. You know, again, how your new favorite low sat or high, amazing, awesome cryptocurrency exchange is explaining their most recent exploit and how you may or may not be affected. But no, thank you. No, I want to sleep easy. I want to trade. I want to be able to utilize leverage. So I have to deposit as little as possible to the exchange, but only if you guys have the product and service that I want. So I want to sleep easy at night. I want to conduct my trades on a reliable exchange that offers a great user experience and all the tools that even I could ask for. Okay, that's a lie. They do not have all the tools that I could ask for. They don't. ByBit could offer way more markets. They certainly could do that. They do have insurance, which is pretty awesome. And they're going to add options. The insurance is actually really, really cool. And their USDT market, listen, that's why I trade on ByBit right now. The USDT market, it's the best. I can sit in Tether. I can margin in Tether. I can trade in Tether. I can receive profits in Tether. I can automate in Tether. That's what I'm talking about. Do not have to now use, I now actually have less on deposit on my margin account because I don't have to use something like 3x leverage and have a large BTC deposit and have a large short sell open to hedge my primary account when I want to be pseudo cash because I don't sell my Bitcoin. You know, being able to deposit the amount of USDT there allows me to hedge my BTC, you know, more of an OTC method, which is very, very, very helpful, right? So anyways, I've been with ByBit for over a year now. Been the best leverage platform I've ever traded on. Don't trade on BitMEX. I don't care what platform you trade on, just don't trade there. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can click the link or go trade on ByBit yourself. You get a free margin. I don't know, they do free stuff. Like, I don't know, it's whatever it is. But ByBit.cryptocurrency.com. Wait until Tether crashes. I'll need something else. ZCash. Speaking of ZCash, that's what I bought today, guys. It is Money Monday. And as we do on Money Monday, why is this? This is the ZEC USDC. So let's go to ZEC BTC. As we do on Money Monday, every Monday, I purchase an investment. So today I bought $250 of ZCash on Coinbase for USDC because I do not like the idea of exchanging my precious Bitcoin in for S coins. I'm speaking blatantly. What I do like is trading in the other kind of funny money that I have, USD or USDC, which is like another digital funny money, and then acquiring it that way. So ZCash, we were kind of talking about this. Certainly room for a retracement here. ZCash does have this, and it's okay if you guys laugh at me. I could be wrong about this. Like maybe I just read the wrong thing on Twitter. ZCash does have a halving event coming up in November, to the best of my understanding. Let's see if I'm being trolled. Yeah. Just testing you guys. 125 days, 10 hours, 51 minutes, 14 seconds. And you guys know what that means. Reward block halving. You guys know what the block halving for Bitcoin did. Price just exploded. But anyways, certainly if we look at the chart, we are definitely in an accumulation zone for ZEC BTC. ZEC is down like 98% from its all-time high, meaning that it has plenty of room to run if it does decide to move the rest of the market. And we can see the increase of volume, clear signs of accumulation, not clear signs until price is like way up here. And then I'm like, oh, that was clear signs of accumulation down there. Potential signs of accumulation, volume spikes, price moving symmetrically, consolidating in a rectangle bottom formation, measured movement for a 50% here and a measured movement here. That takes us up if we break above not 7972, which is resistance. Takes us up about 100% to our first take profit and 150% to our second take profit. So certainly a lot of opportunity there in ZCash. So about $250 with a ZCash. I'm gonna do the thing. All right. So let's move into today's cryptocurrency segment. Let's go. All right, so as you guys know, we're going to be talking about the United States Secret Service. It's a kind of an enigmatic and storied law enforcement agency in America. And they just did an interview with Forbes. I don't want to say they, but members of the Secret Service did an interview with Forbes that dropped last week. And in this interview, the law enforcement agency, well, I don't even know if I want to call them law. Certainly, they are a law enforcement agency. They're more like the thing of myths, legends, whispers. Wild Wild West, Will Smith. Now, the Secret Service revealed its views on cryptocurrency and cybercrime. Now, take a walk down memory lane here. United States Secret Service goes back to 1865. That is the date. Wow, I don't go back that far. They were first established under the purview of the Treasury Department. So their first job in the first place was to control the money, to protect the money. And they were tasked with what was then a widespread problem surrounding the counterfeiting of United States currency, fiat currency. Apparently, it's always been an issue. Now it's just the thing. Like Jerome Powell just presses the button. It's whatever. And it's since then most famously developed its reputation as presidential protectors, the protection detail that shadows the United States president in his travels and public appearances. And it just so happens that that's not the only duty that they are responsible for today. So in this interview, they have Jonah Force Hill. He is the U.S. Secret Service Cyber Policy Advisor. He went on the record to provide some insight into what he and what the service's modernized role looks like. So this is kind of like interesting. Anyways, I think this stuff's interesting. So in addition to what they're obviously well known to do, protect the president, they investigate crimes against the U.S. financial system, which includes many forms of modern computer crimes, like unauthorized access of government computer systems. So ransomware attacks that are very popular with cryptocurrency crime right now, as well as crimes associated with digital currencies. And they're not the only law enforcement agency with the authority or the purview to investigate cryptocurrency crimes. Obviously, the FBI, the IRS, Homeland Security, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they also overlap into crypto crime investigation, and of course, state and local law enforcement as well. But they collaborate, share information, and most likely, like I've seen these guys play paintball, they probably have some friendly competition, maybe some unfriendly competition between them. Now, like many individuals, like many agencies, the agency has likely been busy lately due to COVID-19. And that's likely because, as the FBI testified in a House of Representatives meeting in June, there's been a 75% uptick in cybercrime, daily cybercrime, since the onset of the outbreak. And why wouldn't there? You're home more, you are using your computer more. You are probably very lax about your private, your digital security while you are working from home. Now you have your work laptop that you are sitting on your couch working from at home. How easy is it for you to just open up your Facebook and do your personal browsing on your work laptop? But you're not using a VPN. You're not doing all this. You're letting your information slip, and it's just leaking out all over there, along with your business information. They're not really so much interested in your data. They're interested in your company's data, right? Now, the fraud spree witnessed under COVID-19 lockdowns is not specifically a cryptocurrency issue, but overall, crypto is just a component of the overall fraud. This is what Jonah said. Let's see here. Man, that dude has got some facial expressions on him. All right. Now, ransomware attacks involving cryptocurrency saw this is staggering, a 900% jump between January and May of this year. That's like what XRP is going to do here in a few months. Now, a vast majority of these ransoms obviously demand Bitcoin as payment, and that's due in part to the pseudonymity that the payment system provides. And because of that, it lands firmly on the radar of the Secret Service. But the agency recognizes that criminals using Bitcoin for ransom payments does not mean the crypto itself is to blame. Hey, what a modern idea. There's good people on both sides. Well, cars kill people, so let's outlaw cars. Still, the question of cryptocurrency's position in the criminal underworld has prompted much speculation. It always will. It's silly. You guys can't stop us. According to Chainalysis, they estimate that only 1.1% of unlawful activity involves cryptocurrency. Thus, kind of the cliched saying, at least that I spit all the time, which is that more crime is done with Benjamins, not the blockchain. But this seems to contradict FBI statistics, which suggests that crypto is present in as many as 3 out of 4 money laundering cases. Well, listen. Chainalysis says that crypto is involved in 1.1% of unlawful activity. Now, that it could be that there's not a lot of money laundering, so it could be that Bitcoin is involved in 3 out of 4 money laundering cases. Still, far more crime that does not involve money laundering. But according to Hill of the Secret Service, that number ranges between the true number actually ranges between 1.1% and 75%, because to him, crypto is just a tool, not the classification of crime in itself, right? So he says the crimes that are prosecuted in cryptocurrency cases are generally categorized as money laundering or larceny, not crypto crime. So how the crime was committed, whether it was committed via crypto or not, or what form of money was stolen, is irrelevant to the prosecution and therefore not quantified for statistical purposes. So this is not very helpful, but who cares? And he went on to he went into the rising phenomenon of crime as a service in the world of cybercrime, noting that these cyber criminals often offer their products and services for a fee. Yeah, in our YouTube comments, I don't know if you've heard, but Hacker Angelo can get you 4 BTC for free. If he could get 4 BTC for free, why would he not just get himself 4 BTC? It doesn't make any sense. Angelo, like, what do I not see here, man? What do I not see? Tell me. Level with me. But yeah, I mean, this is the way that it is. Like, you know, everything is a service, and individuals who have the skills are more than willing to trade their services for currency or money or whatever they desire on the internet. On darknet markets, for example, custom ransomware software is traded for Bitcoin or Monero if you're smarter, which allows less tech-savvy criminals to get the tools they need to extort others in attacks launched against their preferred targets. If you ever wanted to ruin your ex-girlfriend's Facebook account, darknet is the place to go. And that, you know, helps explain the 900% jump in ransomware attacks this year. You know, more cyber criminals are tapping dark web markets for easily deployable box exploits. But Hill suggests that the process of carrying out a ransomware crime, start to finish, can be a lot more sophisticated, something more akin to Ocean's 11. Come on, man. At least they didn't say Ocean's 12. But with crypto used as one of the tools in the heists. So he says, quote, "This crime as a service model allows criminal groups to come together for a particular scheme, only to disassemble once the scheme is completed," Hill said, likening the model to the crews seen in old school bank heists. Well, listen, you know, seeing as how a lot of communication is done nowadays through like Telegram and Discord, you know, I got to wonder, like, are they dressing up like Reservoir Dogs? I doubt it. I mean, they're sitting from their, you know, they're sitting in their living rooms, their mother's basements, right? Like, you know, you need that cool heist music. I love heist movies. I'm certainly not. I do not take Rick Sanchez's side in this. Okay. A few more interesting points here, and then we'll move on to the next story, which is, yeah, so build a team for the job, right? Hire a guy who knows the bank layout, another guy who can break a safe, a guy who knows how to dismantle an alarm system, a getaway driver, a lookout. It's the same thing here, but in the digital world. All right, so if the Kraken cryptocurrency team was a crew, I wonder who would be the safe breaker. I feel like Jason would be the safe breaker. Or maybe he'd be the guy who knows how to dismantle the alarm system. That'd probably be Ben. Getaway driver. I feel like that'd have to be Jack. No, maybe Jack would be the best lookout. I don't know. And I would probably be the guy who knows the bank layout. Charm is a crime. So crime as a service in major cyber heists, resembling something out of the Prohibition era, could likely make a good movie someday. In the meantime, we're going to link the Forbes article and Secret Service interview in the description below if you guys are looking for a good read this afternoon. For sure. So here it is. Alex is the wild card. You're the muscle, man. Here's the Forbes article. All right. And speaking of the Secret Service, and Brian Armstrong. So it just so happens that the latest government agency to acquire a Coinbase analytics license, following along with the DEA and IRS, having recently scored a similar license. And of course, that's raised concerns, ire, pitchforks in the community, and even led to a minor exodus of customer funds in protest a few months ago, funds leaving Coinbase. Now, the license that Coinbase Analytics provides gives the agency the tool for the next 4 years. For the low price of $183,730 for payable in ZCash. The license expires in 2024. Now, only Coinbase was considered by the U.S. Secret Service for the contract, and other potential competitors were only able to bid for future reference. And of course, this begs the question, right? Or why? What is so special about Coinbase Analytics software over similar tools on the marketplace, right? We have established chain analysis companies and chain analysis products. So what is so special about Coinbase's analytics? Keep in mind that this data and the Coinbase Analytics product have never been available to the public, despite the fact that Coinbase has insisted in the past that their analytics data is 100% sourced from publicly available information. Is that so, Brian? And why won't you let us see us, Brian? Show us the black box, Brian. Let's see here. And licenses for the software are not publicly available. So you are not allowed to purchase one yourself and find out for yourself. Only the government can. And it's natural that we're a little paranoid about this. So many individuals have bought or utilized Coinbase and recommend it as a safe haven to others. But to know that, there's a man on the inside, or that they're behind our back, turning around and selling analytics information to government agencies that we are not aware of the details of what's inside of that information. They're like, it's just totally public information. Well, then, why don't you tell us what it is, bud? This led to a hashtag delete Coinbase movement trending on Twitter, as users were paranoid that Coinbase may be spinning their private data off to U.S. authorities, and some decided to leave the platform in protest. I don't blame them. Go to Kraken. And Brian Armstrong is the CEO, of course. Big eth head, took to Twitter here and said, we did this via an acquisition, which did not go very well, honestly, and we had to cycle out some team members. Some people just were not on board. We had to let them go. But we were able to rebuild the team and set up this functionality in-house. And okay, so here he goes on to say, it's expensive to build this capability, and we want to recoup costs. There is an existing market for blockchain analytics software, so we sell it to a handful of folks as well. It also helps us build relation with law enforcement, which is important to growing crypto. There are ways to grow relationships with law enforcement in crypto without selling your users' private data that you, in my opinion, may or may not be, probably are, lying to us about the fact that you're turning around and selling it. Yeah, look at that shaved head, man. Everybody with a shaved head is a big meth head, dude. Without a doubt. Especially if you want more fiat in the world to flow into crypto over time, as I do. Blockchain analytics software is essentially just compiling publicly available data that is already out there on the blockchain, trying to organize it to make it more useful. If you want true privacy, that's what privacy coins are for. I'm a big fan of privacy coins because I think everyone should have more financial privacy. It will be similar to how the internet moved from HTTP to HTTPS over time. Now, there's a good response here. Let's see here. Maybe it's from this article. Yeah, hold up. Here we go. Is it right here? And, you know, keep in mind, Coinbase has an IPO coming out here pretty soon. Shoot. It's here somewhere, man. Basically, you know, the response that I read. Wow. All right, cool. Yeah. And then we have the kind of offensive posts right there. Anyways, the response that I saw to him that I agreed with was basically somebody saying, you know, look, man, there are other blockchain analytics companies out there, and there are other ways to make money besides selling private data, because this is the problem here is that it's very suspicious, and the assertion is that what they are actually doing is claiming to not sell private user data for users of the Coinbase platform, and that they are incorporating and developing developing their analytics software based on that. And that's why the US Secret Service was so keen to enter into this relationship with Coinbase and not with these other well-established companies out there like Chainalysis or I can't think of the other one, the other big one off the top of my head, but it is certainly suspicious. So, you know, I honestly haven't been doing for almost a year now almost any transactions or volume on Coinbase. There are some accumulation bids that I buy. So for example, generally like long-term hodls, I'll purchase on Coinbase. But the best way to do things, if you're trying to accumulate long-term positions, is to do it OTC, guys, is to do it kind of peer-to-peer, decentralized exchanges. And it's very, very hard to do that right now, but it's coming in the future, one day. But yeah. Honestly, you're going to have to move with your gut. Like 9 out of 10 individuals are not going to care about this. Actually, 99 out of 100 aren't. Maybe 99.9% won't. It's very rare that you find individuals that stand on principle. So let me know what you guys think. Why no ICO? I mean, they're not completely ridiculous, right? And speaking of privacy and security, guys, speaking of that, just a second. Ooh, yay. Here we go. Text. Create new. And we're going to do this. 22. Yeah, I like it. I'm not a big fan of this font, but it'll work, right? Okay. All right. Sorry that the plugs are a little lame today, guys, but not lame, like as in the copy, but just like the presentation. But if you guys care about privacy and security, then you should definitely check out our friends over at Spectre Security. You know, been friends with them for a long time. They've been partners of the show for a long time. And they're one of the few kind of blockchain companies I know that actively works to put the power of your data back in your hands. You can join, you know, the best thing you could probably do is join their community, join their Discord, cost you nothing, and take advantage of their products and services. And the best one that I could certainly recommend, because I think it's the killer app for individuals out there who do not know what they're talking about or do not know how to protect their digital, who do not even know how to use a VPN, who don't understand how they're leaking their digital information everywhere. I would highly recommend you get a one-on-one consultation. They've got a fantastic team over there. They can help you boost your online security. You can visit the link right there on the screen. There's also a link down in the description, spectre.cryptocurrency.com, to view their products, their services, and you can download their wallet app for free because, yes, they have a crypto. and use the coupon code, get cracking. I should make a thing. I got to put this up here. Yeah. Boom. Let's see here. There we go. Get cracking. That's the coupon code. Use that coupon code. Get cracking. You get 10% off anything you want to buy. It's GETCRACKING. Get cracking. Spectre Security. Spectre.crackingcryptocurrency.com. All right. Next. That's about it, guys. Let's see. I'm going to take some time to answer questions. I don't have any questions of the day, so let's see what Jason has for me. All right, so FOMO Sapien asks, can you please discuss support levels on Chainlink? Okay. Yeah, let's just get rid of the request. Sorry. All right. Let's do it. I have a link chart somewhere. Here it is. Yep. All right. So here's a trade I posted this morning, guys. I'm not 100% sure if it filled. I have to go check my 3 commas, but best of luck to everybody. All right, support and resistance levels on Chainlink. So obviously, look, man, Chainlink is the goddamn Tesla of cryptocurrency. So let's take all the lines off the chart because they're all bupkis now. Shouldn't have done that. I had an open trade. Yeah, it's whatever. All right, so we got support. We've got the market low. And we've got this local high. And yeah, let's go with that. Okay. All right, that makes it pretty simple. All right, so big consolidation area. Just overall big range. Just the way that Chainlink has moved is one big pump, pretty significant retracement. About 70% retracement. Push back up, a 50% retracement of that movement. Double bottom. So we have a kind of an Eve and then an atom, all the way back up. Test resistance all the way back down to the bottom of the range. Grind back up to resistance and movement up. Now, this is actually yeah, we did it, guys. That was a full measured move of that range. So if you want to get cheeky, you guys want to talk about like, oh my God, Link's going to the moon, it'd be up there. Now, listen, I'm not a big fib guy. But I'm just saying, if we want to look at areas other people are going to talk. So you're right about here, 618 retracement, in that area right there, 6.06. So you got your fib retracement. And honestly, I feel like we should do this a bit better. This is how I would like to do this, which is to the high and then to the breakout, right? I don't understand why that's doing that. Okay, so I want to do the trend-based fib extension. Excuse me very much, sir. Here and here. Okay, so there's that measured movement, and I would like to measure from there, not the high price actually made. So here, and that here. Thank you. Zoop. Okay. All right. Boom. All right. So about $5.90, give or take. Obviously, you have previous resistance, which you would like to test as support at $4.58. So from where we are right now, you're looking at a 20% or a 37%, let's say 40% retracement. And I think that's likely to continue. There's not a huge volume spike here. Let's zoom down to the daily. It's really not that huge. I certainly do expect to see a retracement, but maybe it won't be that massive like capitulation sell-off. Maybe Link just doesn't care. Link's the new Tesla. So I feel like that makes about as much sense as anything else. This is where we kind of had our previous. You can go here down to the 1 hour, and here we go. We have a little bit of consolidation here. Get a kind of a descending channel, then a breakout, and then just a little, wiggle waggle, and then pop to the upside. Yeah, it's just some kind of consolidation after our initial move up, consolidation, moving up. You might call it a wedge, whatever you want to. Price is already down about 10%, about halfway there, about 10% more to go. I don't think we bounce here yet. I don't really see a volume spike. I mean, we certainly can, but I don't see price just turning around and moving back up from this. Price is going to pull back for quite a bit here on Chainlink. Yeah. I'd say somewhere, this range is pretty good. So if you're looking for like a bounce trade, you do something like this. Come on now. Yeah. So around 590. You want to be cheeky, like people like me, like I'd set a bid at like 560. See if I get it for 560 and then take it up to like $7. But watch for the volume spike and watch for kind of like oversold metrics. Like I said, I opened up a short on Link this morning and Cardano. Midwest Attempt says, "Call me King Arthur." I don't know, man. I had Paul say to me this morning that when it came to breakouts, he was a deity. He was a god. I freaking hope so. All right. All I want to know is, are we going to buy Doge at 33 sats or not? All right, for real. All right, so the Pie Guy says, what do you make of decreasing BTC dominance? Okay. What do you... The Pie Guy asks, what do I make of decreasing BTC dominance while price increases? Well, I mean, in what facet is price increasing while Bitcoin dominance is dropping? To the point where it's noticeable. So here is... So in what you're gonna have to explain to me how you see a correlation between Bitcoin dominance. So here's Bitcoin dominance rising, and price, noted by the blue line, rises with it. And then Bitcoin dominance begins to fall, and what happens to price? Like it begins to consolidate almost immediately. And but I don't know. Let's see if we can find examples. Price can certainly move up, but what determines price and what determines the bid up of price is market dynamics, is the order book. It can be true, for example, that the price of Cardano is moving up, but less volume is being traded for Cardano simply because there are less willing sellers at that price level. It could also be, for many reasons, but the price of Bitcoin can go up and the share of Bitcoin's dominance, share of the market capitalization, can go down. There's not really a whole lot that contradicts with that. It just means that, price is being bid up, but other things are being bid up more aggressively, right? It could be that in alt season, like, people want to buy and hold Bitcoin, so people are investing into Bitcoin, but they are just investing in altcoins more, which is responsible for Bitcoin's market capitalization or Bitcoin's dominance dropping. It's also possible that these metrics, as provided by CryptoCap and calculated by TradingView, aren't the best. I think they're pretty good, though. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, here we have, if we can find some rough correlation. Okay, so get an arrow, always in drawing mode. All right, so let's start here. We have price moving up and Bitcoin dominance moving up to ungodly levels. And Bitcoin dominance, excuse me, let's see here. Yeah, see, here we go. Bitcoin slows moving up when Bitcoin dominance kind of consolidates here a little bit. And when Bitcoin dominance begins moving up rapidly, price begins moving up rapidly again. We see some consolidation, and this is where Bitcoin's price falls off. And then here we have a nice correlation with Bitcoin dominance rising. Here's Bitcoin dominance rising while price is falling, and kind of consolidating in lockstep. Here is Bitcoin's price staying relatively stable. And here's Bitcoin dominance dropping way out. Yeah, here we go. Here's your correlation, or lack thereof. Here's Bitcoin dominance from December of 2019 to February of 2020, dropping all the way from 71% to 62%. Meanwhile, the price of Bitcoin rose from 7,000 to 10,250. And then here we go again. The price of Bitcoin begins to drop all the way down, the March meltdown, and Bitcoin dominance rises. And here we go. Bitcoin dominance drops and the price of Bitcoin rises exponentially. And now Bitcoin's price is consolidating, i.e. moving sideways, and dominance has dropped. So I don't really think it has any significant correlation. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something here that I should see. The things I watch for in Bitcoin dominance are how aggressive to be on altcoins, and are movements likely to continue? Right? Fine. Weekly. All right, so yeah. So Bitcoin dominance, I think, is in a downtrend. I think it will continue. I would like to, ultimately, listen, we got a possible area we could stop here, but it does seem like it's in a downtrend drifting towards 60.58, which corresponds with what I wanted to see on the daily. Is this a different chart? I guess it is. I don't know why those levels are gone, but yeah. So yeah, we can see this kind of triple level of support that we tested, and in my estimation broke through. And we did so on falling volume, and I think we are likely to continue to 60 to 58% Bitcoin dominance. All right. Where do you trade USD CNH? I don't have it on a Wanda for some reason, Robert asks. I believe I already touched on that. Tyler Dukacek says, thoughts on US oil with OPEC meetings today? Don't know, don't care. Civic USDT, already covered it. Bitsia Yellow says, nice VeChain shirt. Could you possibly have a look at it against USD for favor? Yeah, sure, let's do it. All right, so here's Doge. Listen, anybody ask whether we are buying Doge at 33 in the box? Peckham08 says, very important, please read at ASA UK. I have tweeted them. These are the main people for UK government regulation for YouTube adverts. Keep tweeting them. DM me. I'm not sure what we're saying. Ron Legato says, check out XSPC. What do I think of Zilliqua? I love Zilliqua. What price point would I be backing the truck up for Bitcoin? Anything under 3,000 or in the $3,000 range? Certainly. Let's go to Civic. Okay, let's replace Civic here. Vet USD on Bitfinex weekly. We're pretty much at the ATHs on Bitfinex, at least on the weekly, and nice decent little volume spike, but not a whole lot of volume. I don't like of course I don't want to buy VeChain here, but I don't necessarily see it stopping. Yeah, this is some interesting. I don't think this is going to stop it. Maybe it could do a Cardano here, like most of the other dollar pairs, and pull back here. Seems like maybe the time is right. Okay, well, let's assume that that's going to happen. Yeah, sell signal on the daily, but I don't know. I'm not really liking this. It does seem like it could continue, but yeah, it'll probably do like the other dollar pairs are and at least pull back a little bit. So pulled back 50%. And it'll probably pull back again to not 0.13. Probably do something like that here for a buying opportunity. And you could probably trade it up into this range at some point. Let's do, sorry. Yeah, you can probably trade it up here somewhere. But kind of the first significant level of support that I see for VeChain is not 0.908.5. So somewhere right along here. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I do not really see the indications that the trend is absolutely going to reverse here. Yeah, daily time transformation signal. Let's see how we act around like 2 cents, because VeChain is at 2 cents, and that's pretty significant. So we have move, consolidation, move, and generally that's considered to be a measured move up. So this. Okay. That, we already had that movement, almost 2 of them actually. That's ridiculous. 300%. Wait, it moved up another 300%. Yeah, let's say, so sorry. Let's be real here. Let's say 100%. And then we did move up another 100%. All right, so we've had, yeah, measured move up. And if we move sideways, we could get a third measured move up. You know, that's how it kind of goes down in the encyclopedia sometimes. But I would, listen, here's what I'd do if I had VeChain. Like, I would probably sell quite a bit right here. I'd take some good profit. Like, we are at all-time highs. And then let 50 to 30% of my stack run. I'd certainly take some good profits right here. And there's a trading opportunity right here. Oh, I'm gonna set my bid there. Good luck, my friend. Quite high. And XSPC, we're gonna have to go to Coin Paprika. Ooh, no, thank you. I don't want your app. Go away. Technical analysis via trading view. And then this is going to be it. We're going to pull the plug, guys. All right, XSPC. All right, listen, guys. XSPC is what you would call in an accumulation state, okay? It is launched. It has never had a significant pump. Well, I don't want to say that. Like, certainly, look, this coin has moved, like, you know, over 1,000%. But what I'm saying is, like, XSPC has not, you know, done the face melting, massive amounts of volume coming in. You know, individuals that believe in this asset and individuals that believe in the team, they're a fantastic team and believe in the viability of the project. I mean, you can't, if you're going to accumulate this project, if you're going to acquire this, you're going to pick it up here. This is XSPC in USD. So this is not 9,307 cents. So that is 1/10,000th of a penny. Is one XSPC. So, you know, I mean, a position size of like $25 and something like that. If we have a massive crypto run and that reaches down into the low sets. I mean, certainly this is what you would call in investing terms like a Hail Mary, right? Because it's so far down the, let's say just the coin market capitalization list, that it does take some far-reaching effects for it to go in there. But again, you guys remember 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, it still goes on today. You're going to get those pools of liquidity that build up. Those coins get arbitraged and accumulated on the smaller exchanges, you know, your alt lilies, your trade ogres, whatever, all that stuff. And then eventually they get moved to higher liquidity exchanges, right? Now, again, not guaranteeing, not promising anything. But yeah, just keep in mind, $25 position in a coin like this, you know, you buy it, you don't think about it, you just put it away somewhere. And then one day you get to wake up and it is just moved with the rest of the market. And your $25 is a lot of money. That's very similar to, what do you call that? Hex, right? Which I've never, why don't you marry it then? All right, so TRX BTC. I'm pretty sure I said that was the last one I was going to look at, but whatever. Was Xerex? Told you guys that I wanted to be. Told you guys when I woke up this morning, I was conservative on what I put on. You got everybody convinced that alt season's just going to continue. And all I said was, man, we should just wait for like 2-3 days. TRX BTC is also, this is painful to say, in the accumulation zone, certainly, if you want to call it that. Between 135 sats and 259 sats. Let's call it 260 sats. This is a rectangle bottom. It's had 5 tests. It's possible that this is forming a, I don't know, like a bottom here, and then it doesn't really do anything. Like maybe it's forming the slithery snake bottom pattern. I don't know. None of that really matters. If TRX gets bid up, it will. We'll measure the support to resistance, and oh, what the heck here? Come on now, this is just ridiculous. Stop. Okay, there we go. Measured move here would be 386 sats. I think that's the logical target. Back up into that order block and consolidation area. And if we wanted to overshoot for it a little bit, we would shoot for 464. I'm going to go for 450. That sounds better to me. 449, just to piss everybody off. 449. So I'd be willing to buy TRX anywhere below 260 sats, but you know, closer to 150 if I could, because I think I can get a pullback right now, maybe across the entire market as Bitcoin dominance moves up here a little bit. Can I explain what is meant with the phrase back the truck up? Yeah, sure. What I mean by that is, yeah, hey mom. Yeah, you know that 20 bucks you owe me? Yeah, you know that 20 bucks you owe me, mom? Yeah, I'm gonna need that. Yep. No, I'm backing the truck up. Yep, it's going, all of it. Yep, all into Bitcoin. All of it. Yeah. No, you should. You should. Yeah. No, tell cousin Johnny to give you that 50, man. It's back the truck up time. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I back the truck up. All right, so there's Doge at 33 sats. Which means I am almost positive. Let me check. That's my buy order. Yeah, I got filled at 34. So, okay, so I finally got filled. All right, let's see if we go. Doge to 41 sats if we can hold here. Otherwise, we're all screwed. All right, so that's about it, guys. With that being said. All right. So events occurring today, not much. Today is going to be Monday. I'm going to be publishing our premium trades. Got a few mentoring sessions. Upcoming events, the Online Trading Academy. As I said, I apologize that we're not going live today with that. We'll be going live next Monday. Gives us one more week to just iron out all the bugs, make sure that everything is properly ready to go, and then I can do a very nice YouTube premiere and presentation for it. The members come home emails are still going out as well. Make sure if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, to leave them in the comment section down below, because we are going to be picking random commenters and giving that person a pretty sweet prize. So we'll reveal that here in just a little bit. All right. All right. With that being said, let's hop to the outro. All right, guys. Oh, sorry. I'll just kind of hunker down here. I guess I have to so you guys can see. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. I'm your host, Justin Wise. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic time. Thank you for all the support, all the jokes. You guys are awesome. We will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode. Got to take the glasses off. You probably can see the ring glare. With that being said, make sure to join us in the Discord at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. The link is in the description down below. And if you guys, what else? Okay, yeah, website, crackingcryptocurrency.com. Or if you're interested in joining the premium trading group or learning what we do as a company to help assist traders in learning how to build their own objective technical trading strategies, learning how to review the statistical analysis of their backtesting results, how to build algorithmic backtesters, how to work in Pine Strategy Tester. If you'd like to utilize our proprietary indicator suite and our suite of indicators to help make trading easier. If you guys would like to enjoy our educational process or educational material or sign up for one-on-one mentoring, that's all available at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. All right, we will be back tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, leave them in the comments section down below. And remember, ultimately, the biggest lesson here, guys, is technical analysis is great. It is a tool. It is very helpful. It is responsible for a large portion of my active income. However, it is risk management and position sizing as well as discipline that ends up paying the bills at the end of the month. And more so than that, it is living my life in such a way that lets me appreciate the reason why I'm here and what I'm doing in the first place. So never lose sight, never lose the vision of why you began trading in the first place, and always strive for that financial freedom, guys. I will be back tomorrow. Make sure you guys trade safely, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. There's a button here somewhere. It's this one. Bye, guys.